Hi, it's Scott Vogel on Sex Addiction. I'm going to share with you step 1 in the 12-step fellowships in recovery from sex addiction. Step 1 states we admitted we were powerless over, whatever the sexual behavior is, that our lives had become unmanageable. In SAA, Sex Addicts Anonymous, we admitted we were powerless over addictive sexual behavior, that our lives had become unmanageable. In SLAA, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, we admitted we were powerless over sex and love addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. And in SA, Sexaholics Anonymous, we admitted we were powerless over lust, that our lives had become unmanageable. Working the step is worked the same way in each of the fellowships. It's the definition of the behaviors that each addict chooses to define, which determines which of the 3 most popular S fellowships they'll attend. The principle behind step 1 is honesty. When we admit to something, we become rigorously honest. When we admit we were powerless, we become honest. Admitting our powerlessness says, I am totally powerless over this disease, this addiction, these behaviors, and I can't stop. That's powerlessness, and in this first step, that's what we admit. Step 1 is the only time the 12 steps talk about the actual disease itself as far as the addiction goes. We also have to talk about unmanageability. We have to be honest in what is this disease? What is this sex addiction, sex and love addiction, sexaholism, sexual compulsivity do to our lives? How did our lives become unmanageable? We admit. That's being honest. When we work step 1, we first define what does it mean to be powerless. What does it mean that my life became unmanageable? What we do here is we write our story, or we tell our story. We write it first and we tell it to others in the fellowship that says, here's how my life became out of control. Here's what it meant to be powerlessness to me, and here's how my life become unmanageable. Here's all the things that happened to me, both in my relationships and my job and my finances, my spirituality, every aspect of my life, your life, that became unmanageable. There's also a prayer that's used in step 1, and if you have problems with God, you can use higher power, you can use anything you want in place of the word God. God, my name is Scott, and I am a precious child of God, and I need your help today to break free from the bondage of sin. I add dark side, evil, and addiction, and fill my heart with you, your word, and the Holy Spirit. Again, replace any of these words, but basically this prayer is about asking for help because we cannot do this alone. We found throughout our addiction, we've tried on our own and we can't, so we need help. So by being honest and saying, please, I need help, I'm powerless, my life is unmanageable, that's taking the first step in recovery from sex addiction. Please visit our YouTube channel on sex addiction for more videos on sex addiction and recovery from sex addiction. You can also go to www.onsexaddiction.com for a free video explaining sex addiction, the 7 symptoms of sex addiction, the traumas of sex addiction, faulty core beliefs as a result of sex addiction, and the 7 paths to success in recovery from sex addiction. You'll also find more information, articles, and videos about sex addiction and sex addiction recovery.